Hi, my name is Adelaide Carriere. I'm a realtor with Royal LePage Frank doing my Durham Region series, and today we're going to be talking about Pickering, Ontario. Pickering sits on the western edge of the Durham Region, directly bordering Toronto, and it stretches from Lake Ontario in the south all the way north into more rural and conservation land, which means the city feels very different depending on where you are. For commuters, this is often the first stop outside of Toronto, which plays a big role in who chooses to live here. Welcome to Pickering, Ontario.
So first, let's talk about the vibe and lifestyle. Pickering is suburban, practical, and commuter-friendly. The pace of life is moderate, so it's not sleepy, but it's also not buzzing like downtown either. A typical Saturday might look like, morning coffee near the Pickering city center, a walk or bike ride along the waterfront, or running errands, doing kids' activities, or hosting friends at home. People here definitely value space, convenience, and access more than nightlife. Now, as far as housing types, housing in Pickering is mostly freehold, so detached homes and townhouses dominate, but condos are concentrated near transit and the city center. There are newer developments in the north and older established pockets that are closer to the lake. So one important thing to know, though, is in Pickering, street-by-street variation matters a lot here. So two areas could be 5 minutes apart and can feel completely different in age, layout, and price point. Pickering is a strong fit if you're a Toronto commuter wanting more space, a first-time buyer priced out of the city, a family wanting access to schools, parks, and highways, or if you're someone who wants lake access without the downtown prices. Pickering is very family-oriented, so there's plenty of public and Catholic school options, French immersion availability is here too, and there's good access to sports fields, rec centers, and youth programs. School quality and boundaries do vary by neighborhood, so this is one area where local guidance will really matter. As far as parks, trails, and outdoor space, this is a huge plus for Pickering. There are waterfront parks and trails along Lake Ontario, there's large green spaces and conservation areas, there's playgrounds, splash pads, and dog-friendly areas, so if being outdoors is part of your lifestyle, Pickering will deliver more than people expect. Let's get into walkability and daily convenience because this is important. So, walkability will depend on where you live. If you're near the Pickering town center, then those areas are more walkable, but most neighborhoods are still car dependent. So that said, errands are pretty easy though, like shopping, groceries, gyms, and services are well distributed through the city. One of Pickering's strongest advantages is definitely the transportation and commuting. The Pickering GO station offers direct access to downtown Toronto, there's easy access to Highway 401, and overall there's reliable transit options compared to other Durham cities. But the trade-off is just that rush hour traffic is very real, especially on the major routes. The things to be aware of, well, in certain areas, there's highway and train noise. There is traffic congestion during peak hours and ongoing development in some areas. So this isn't a deal breaker for most buyers, but it's just important to know before you choose a street. Pickering might not be the right fit if you plan to walk everywhere and you want an urban lifestyle. I wouldn't say it's quite there yet. If nightlife is also a top priority, I also wouldn't recommend Pickering. If you don't plan to drive at all, again, don't recommend Pickering. Or if you're looking for a small town, tight-knit feel, then I wouldn't recommend Pickering for you. Something I always tell my clients about Pickering is this. Don't judge it as one city. The experience changes dramatically depending on whether you're closer to the lake, the highway, or if you're in the northern end. Just choosing the right pocket matters more here than almost anywhere else in Durham. If you're thinking about moving to Pickering or anywhere in Durham, leave a comment with the city or neighborhood you want me to cover next. Make sure to subscribe for more local guides, and I'll see you in the next one.